Hello students, now this is the second part of the video of the topic nutrition. In the previous video we have dealt about what is nutrition, what is digestive system of human beings. Now we come on to the next topic, that is physiology of digestion. Now you have learned that there are different portions of the human digestive tract. The first and the foremost portion of the human digestive tract is the buccal cavity. We have learned there that buccal cavity comprises of different parts as well as it contains different glands. Now we have to be very careful while learning the physiology. We should be aware of all the enzymes that these glands secrete, what are the role of these enzymes and what are the different parts of the glands and the role of the glands in the process of digestion. Now we as holozoic organisms obtain carbohydrates, fats and proteins. These are considered as non-absorbable or unabsorbable food materials. We need to divide them into simpler portions, that is carbohydrates into glucose, proteins into amino acids and fats into fatty acids and glycerol, so as to convert them into easy absorbable forms. So conversion of non-absorbable food molecules into absorbable food molecules with the help of different enzymes is known as digestion. Now the role of different glands in the process of digestion, we start with the first part, that is the buccal cavity. We take in carbohydrates, fats and proteins. Only carbohydrate digestion takes place in the mouth. We have our teeth which digest it and the tongue which mixes the saliva. Now saliva is secreted by salivary glands. These are the salivary glands located at different positions in the mouth. These salivary glands secretes saliva. Saliva contains salivary amylase or ptyalin. Now amylase is that group of enzymes which is responsible for breakdown of simple carbohydrates. Now carbohydrate digesting enzyme we can say is amylase. There is no protein digesting enzyme in the salivary glands, neither it secretes any sort of fat digesting enzymes. So only carbohydrate digestion would take place in the buccal cavity, and that too only 30% of carbohydrates is digested. Now we have the starch and the glycogen. These are complex carbohydrates. These complex carbohydrates is acted on by ptyalin. Ptyalin is salivary amylase acted at by pH 6.5. It also contains lysozymes. Now lysozymes is again the different class of enzymes which is responsible for killing the bacteria or killing any sort of microorganism that is present in our food. So prevent us from the contamination of food and water. Now this starch and glycogen, being complex carbohydrates, are converted into oligosaccharides or a bit simple type of carbohydrates called as maltose. Maltose is again a disaccharide, that means you still need to digest it. So we say only partial digestion of carbohydrate has taken place in the buccal cavity. Now this digested food, partially digested food which comprised of the digested part of only carbohydrate, proteins as such, fats as such, is then passed on to the stomach. Now we have seen this esophagus is a passage, that means here we had a common passage pharynx. There nothing would happen, it would only provided an airway and it provided the common passage for food and water to move. Now the food has travelled down by the peristaltic movements of the esophagus, which is adding up only the mucus. सिर्फ और सिर्फ mucus ऐड होगा, किसी टाइप का कोई डाइजेस्टिव एंजाइम का सेक्रीशन ईसोफेगस में नहीं होता. अब यहाँ से जितना आपने डाइजेस्टेड फूड लिया उसको हमने कहाँ भेजा? स्टमक में. नाउ इन स्टमक वी हैव द डिफरेंट ग्लैंड्स which are called as gastric glands. Stomach is called as gastron. Now gastron comprises of gastric glands. These gastric glands would be secreting concentrated HCl. It also secretes mucus and it also secretes digestive enzymes. Now the entire medium inside the stomach is acidic. To be very precise, it is a highly acidic medium. यहाँ पे कैसा था pH 6.5 मतलब न्यूट्रल, स्टमक में आए मीडियम कैसा हो गया, हाईली एसिडिक। अब हमने पिछले वीडियो में देखा था कि स्टमक का काम क्या है, फूड को स्टोर भी करता है और फूड की डाइजेशन में भी हेल्प करता है। तो यहाँ पे जितना आपने खाना स्टोर किया उसमें उतनी देर में जितनी देर उसका मीडियम अल्कलाइन था तब तक कार्बोहाइड्रेट डाइजेशन कंटिन्यू हुआ। वंस द मीडियम हैज कन्वर्टेड फ्रॉम एसिडिक टू alkaline to acidic, then carbohydrate digestion would not take place. Now the enzyme would be activated. Which is responsible? HCl is responsible for activation of the enzyme. Now I have an enzyme called as propepsin. मैंने प्रो लगाया मतलब वो एंजाइम इनएक्टिव है, प्रो लगाने पर या जेन लगाने पर एंजाइम इनएक्टिव फॉर्म में रहता है। अब प्रोपेप्सिन का मतलब इनएक्टिव पेप्सिन, कौन एक्ट करेगा इस पे, कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड HCl। प्रोपेप्सिन कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड HCl के प्रेजेंस में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा पेप्सिन में। नाउ दिस पेप्सिन वुड एक्ट ओवर प्रोटीन्स। Proteins under the influence of the enzyme pepsin gets converted to smaller branches called as peptones। मतलब एक large protein था, हमने उसको कट कर दिया into smaller peptide chain, that is peptones। Another protein casein का क्या होता है, casein हम मिल्क पीते हैं, milk contains a milk protein called as casein। This casein is acted over by an enzyme renin, R-E-N-N-I-N, because a similar type of enzyme with only one N is secreted by the kidneys. So R-E-N-N-I-N is secreted by stomach, R-E-N-I-N is secreted by kidneys. So be very aware of this spelling. It's R-E-N-N-I-N, that is renin. It is secreted to convert casein into calcium paracaseinate. So only the proteins are partially digested in the stomach because stomach provides a highly acidic medium. Now you might be surprised when the acidic medium is prevalent in the stomach, हमें wounds क्यों नहीं होते, हम अगर इतने acidic medium में उंगली भी डालेंगे तो जल जाएंगे। So we do not get wounded because of the layer of mucus. This is a thick layer of mucus in the stomach which prevents the direct contact of HCl with the stomach lining. But under the influence of a bacteria called as Helicobacter pylori, it's a specific name, Helicobacter pylori, इसके इन्फ्लुएंस में ये जो वॉल है ये डिग्रेड हो जाती है, म्यूकस वॉल। अब म्यूकस अगर डिग्रेड हो गई तो उसको प्रोटेक्ट नहीं कर पाएगी, किससे, एक्शन ऑफ HCl से। तो HCl जो है वो इसको वूंड कर देगा, घाव बना देगा, जिनको हम बोलते हैं अल्सर्स। सो अल्सर्स आर कॉज्ड बाय एन एंजाइम कॉल्ड एज हेलिकोबैक्टर पायरोली। Now in the stomach what you had partially digested proteins, and from the mouth you have already digested the carbohydrates. So the partially digested carbohydrates, partially digested proteins will be sent to the small intestine. Now whenever the food is traveling from the stomach to the small intestine, it would be encountered with different enzymes that is secreted by liver and pancreas. Now the liver is the major gland which secretes, the largest gland of the body. It is secreting bile. Now bile is containing its specific enzyme which is responsible for emulsification of fats. Basically liver is useful in production of bile and is useful for storing the glucose. Now whatever we'll convert will be converted into glucose. It would be stored into glycogen, converted into glycogen and then stored into the liver for further use. Now liver contains another smaller gland, gallbladder. Gallbladder emulsifies fat. Now fat being oil soluble first needed to be converted into smaller fat globules which could be easily solubilized into water, as the entire medium inside body is water. So conversion of this larger fats into smaller globules is called as emulsification of fats. This is done by bile. Bile is secreted by liver as well as gallbladder. Now how does that emulsification takes place? So bile contains bile salts and bile pigments which help in converting these larger fat globules into smaller globules and forming a emulsion or a white paste. This bile does not contain any sort of digestive enzyme. So what it is doing? It is converting the fats into smaller globule, that is emulsifying the fats and neutralizing the medium. Where what new medium? Here it had acidic medium. Now for further action of the enzymes that is secreted from the small intestine, the medium needs to be neutralized. So bile would neutralize the acidity and promote the alkalinity of the medium for the further action of the enzyme secreted by the pancreas as well as the enzyme secreted by the small intestine. Now the entire food from the stomach will be transferred to the small intestine. In between you have this pancreas. Pancreas help in converting or help in the secretion of different pancreatic enzymes. Now we have these pancreas. Pancreas are heterocrine glands. Heterocrine glands means which contains an endocrine portion as well as an exocrine portion. Now endocrine portion is responsible for secretion of hormones. What are hormones? These are the substances that is secreted for the further action of different body parts and is acted onto the different parts of the body. Now endocrine part secretes insulin, glucagon and somatostatin. This insulin acts on glucose, glucagon glycogen to glucose and somatostatins. Exocrine portion secretes pancreatic enzymes. Pancreatic enzymes include trypsin, amylase and lipase. Now this would act when the food is being completely digested and this aids in the digestive process. So pancreatic enzymes are trypsin which acts on proteins, amylase again which would act on carbohydrates and lipase which acts on fats. So pancreas are aiding into the further digestive process and this is then transferred to the small intestine. The complete digestive process completes in the small intestine. Small intestine comprises of three portions: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. This is the duodenum which was getting the duct from liver, gallbladder and pancreas. From the duodenum the food is transferred to jejunum and ileum. Here in jejunum and ileum, the intestinal wall secretes intestinal juices which contain 6 carbohydrates, 2 proteases. 6 carbohydrates means 6 carbohydrate digesting enzymes, 2 proteases, that means 2 enzymes which would digest proteins, enterokinase and lipase and nuclease. Now this is carbohydrates. Maltose, we have already seen that the food is converted to maltose in the buccal cavity. Maltose is acted on by maltase. This would convert maltose into glucose. Sucrose is acted on by sucrase, converts sucrose to glucose and fructose. Lactose is acted on by lactase. This is acted on by lactase and converts lactose to glucose and galactose. Peptides is acted on by trypsin and it converts it into amino acids. Nucleic acid is acted on by nuclease to convert it into nucleotides. These are the simpler absorbable food molecules which is being now digested. This digested food would be then taken up by the blood. Now from where it would be taken up? So these intestinal linings are converted into folds. These folds are meant for increasing the surface area for absorption and are referred to as villi. So what are villi? Villi are finger-like projections of the inner lining of the small intestine to increase the surface area for absorption. These simple molecules are absorbed by the villi, transported to the blood. From the blood it would be transported to different body organs, utilized by the tissues and the cells to derive energy. That is called as assimilation of the food. Now the undigested food would come to the large intestine. Here only the extra water is absorbed and the food is converted into feces. This feces or the fecal matter is then periodically ejected out from an opening called as anus, and the process is referred to as egestion or defecation. So the complete process of physiology of digestion could be summed up as the digestive processes, which includes the digestion of complex non-absorbable food molecules into absorbable food molecules by the use of different digestive enzymes, is known as the physiology of digestion.